Yeah, dude, our MySpace the next day was just like,
Blew
oh
up.
my god, it blew up.
It's 2003, and you're sitting in a dentist waiting room. The TV's on and someone's singing passionately. A woman nearby turns to your mom and says, "Can you believe Clay Aiken lost?" Your mom nods in agreement, and you return your attention to your Game Boy Advance. Back then, culture seemed more unified, and life felt simpler. MySpace, emerging as a pioneering social media platform in the early 2000s, played a pivotal role in introducing the age of social networking. In hindsight, it appears that MySpace was ahead of its time. While it connected people in novel and unexpected ways, it also marked the beginning of the end for our once unified culture. Consider this. MySpace allowed users to connect with artists and celebrities in unprecedented ways. You were no longer just a fan of Fall Out Boy. You could become their friend, or even make it into their coveted top 8 friends list. The newfound accessibility disrupted the traditional control of record labels, enabling artists like Hollywood Undead and Jeffree Star to share their music and content directly with fans. Simultaneously, we witnessed the rise of emo and scene culture, where even if you didn't have friends locally who shared the subculture, you could find kindred spirits like Random Raw XD in your MySpace messages. People began to personalize themselves into their own online bubbles. This early era marked the beginning of what we see today, algorithms tailoring our experiences to our preferences. No longer did we have to watch all the same shows or follow the same celebrities. One person might want to keep up with the Kardashians, while another prefers to watch Brett Cooper videos on YouTube. Growing older, it's natural not to recognize current celebrities, but what's startling is this trend is starting much younger now. People are increasingly content with their personalized bubbles, caring less and less about the broader culture. MySpace as a trailblazer offered us a glimpse into the future where individualization and niche interests would prevail over a shared cultural experience. It laid the groundwork for a society where our unique online bubbles are becoming the norm, contributing to the fragmentation of our once unified monoculture. Monoculture is the practice of growing one crop species in a field at a time, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about cultural homogeny, or rather the lack of it, in modern society. A monoculture refers to a situation where a single culture, set of beliefs, or way of life dominates and is prevalent within a society, and cultural homogeny refers to a situation where a particular culture, set of beliefs, values, customs, and practices becomes largely uniform or consistent with a society or a specific group. In a culturally homogeneous society, there is a high degree of similarity among its members in terms of their cultural backgrounds and behaviors. This might be due to various factors, including historical, social, or political influences. In the 1990s and early 2000s, there was a significant consolidation in the media industry. A few large conglomerates owned a substantial portion of television networks, radio stations, newspapers, and publishing companies. While this angered leftover crack, the experience was pleasant for others. These companies made everything kind of similar and predictable. It felt like everyone was kind of into the same things. We witnessed the global expansion of American media and entertainment companies. Hollywood movies, American television shows, and popular music genres gained widespread international popularity, reinforcing American cultural influence around the entire world. The internet facilitated the global spread of American pop culture, including music, movies, and TV shows, further enhancing the perception of cultural uniformity. Materialism really took hold in the 80s and has kind of been in fashion ever since. Remember Janko jeans? Your favorite nu metal band rocked them. You probably pestered your mom to get a pair. It was all about the style and the logos. If you were more into pop punk, I know you had the Hurley shirt, or maybe later some of Tom DeLonge's Macbeth's shoes. This era produced several influential pop culture icons like Britney Spears, Eminem, Justin Timberlake, Gwen Stefani, Limp Bizkit, to name a few. Really, times were good. The Cold War ended in 1991. NSYNC was topping the charts, but all that changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Anyway, MySpace launched on August 1st, 2003, created by a person who was everyone's friend and the most likable social media pioneer, Tom. Urban Outfitters even made a shirt of him. MySpace, under Tom's watchful eye, ushered in a digital revolution. Unlike the Big Brother vibes that we get from the platforms today, Tom didn't censor anybody, he didn't ban us, he didn't invade our privacy. Well, if you don't consider forcing friendship on everyone that joins your site an invasion of privacy. In fact, a move that would make Elon Musk blush, Tom invited Tila Tequila onto the platform after a competitor, Friendster, kept removing her for apparently pornographic content. Really, he's got some lucky timing. I think if MySpace continued its reign, we might have seen Tom, right next to Zuckerberg testifying before Congress. MySpace's early days were reflective of the Wild West vibe of the internet, where privacy and security seemed like distant afterthoughts. One remarkable incident known as the Sammy Worm vividly illustrates this digital frontier mentality. Sammy Kamkar created a worm, a piece of rogue software that took advantage of MySpace's lack of security. When unsuspecting users stumbled upon Sammy's MySpace profile, the worm attacked. It not only added Sammy as a friend, but it also tampered with the user's profile, inserting a cheeky message promoting Sammy himself. But that's not all. It slightly slipped a hidden piece of JavaScript code into the user's profile, and its mission was to replicate itself whenever anybody visited the infected profile. The Sammy worm became an internet sensation, one of the fastest spreading viruses of its time. This incident, although a prank, shook the internet and shone a spotlight on the security risks of social networking websites, especially when privacy concerns took a backseat. MySpace had to scramble to contain and remove the worm, but the damage was done. This amusing but alarming episode served as a wake-up call, reminding us all of the importance of cybersecurity and user privacy in the digital age. It was a lesson for MySpace that they learned the hard way. It foreshadowed the heated debates that we have today about protecting our data and online identities. So while MySpace was a place for personal expression and connection, it also inadvertently became a pioneer in raising critical questions about our online safety and privacy. In the pre-MySpace era, internet forums and instant messaging were dominant, each serving essential roles. However, MySpace introduced a groundbreaking concept. It erased the boundaries that separated celebrities from their fans. Users had the power to add celebrities as friends, a novel and revolutionary idea. This transformational interaction would later pave the way for platforms like Twitter and Cameo, making celebrities more relatable and accessible in their fan base. MySpace also introduced the friend discovery system. Users could actively seek out friends based on shared interests, geographical locations, even school affiliations. This feature encouraged connections with individuals users might not have otherwise encountered. It was a time before the algorithms that we now cherish, like YouTube's suggested videos, had taken hold and further shaped our personalized online experiences. In addition to the friends discovery system, MySpace was among the first social platform to offer mobile access, although it didn't look great. The magnetic appeal of MySpace was amplified by celebrity endorsements from notable figures like Tila Tequila, Dane Cook, the Jonas Brothers, Jeffree Star. MySpace quickly became a place for celebrities and the general public alike. It was a time when Pete Wentz's member garnered more attention than, who was Speaker of the House.
It's like a little bit cooler, and whatever.
In fact, before Tila Tequila, MySpace was really just about your actual friends. Miss Tequila truly was one of the first internet influencers and was a
Will you please be my friend? Please! Please!
The original influencer under the influence. Tequila leveraged this friends feature to amass a massive number of friends and followers, which at one point reached over 1.5 million. This extensive network gave her a significant reach and influence. Traditional boundaries between celebrities and their fans began to crumble, and individual voices found a potent platform for expression. MySpace's influence was undeniable. As users formed connections and communities that challenged established norms, MySpace's impact was profound, reshaping how we connect, interact, and perceive culture in the digital age. MySpace empowered artists with unprecedented control over their music careers. They could personalize their profiles, upload music directly, and connect with fans independently of major records.
Back in the early MySpace days, we had put our songs, As You're Falling Down and Not Good Enough for Truth and Cliche, we had put online on the band's profile, and there was this kid who his aunt was like a secretary or a receptionist at Epitaph, or like worked in the mailroom or something. Like, he found our band on MySpace.
The democratization of music gave rise to a diverse range of talent from all over the world, breaking down barriers and empowering independent musicians. However, it led to a flood of amateur recordings, including my own less than stellar vocal efforts. MySpace not only gave artists a platform, but also allowed fans to discover music that resonated with their unique tastes, creating a more personalized and intimate artist-fan connection. Really, MySpace laid the foundation for today's digital music landscape, where artists can thrive independently and listeners can curate their musical journeys. It was a place where even minor profile changes, like making your cousin's profile song Big Green Tractor instead of Not Good Enough for the Truth and Cliche, it could lead to the end of a friendship. For those with even basic HTML skills, MySpace offered a canvas for dream profiles, opening the door to endless creative possibilities. Many of us learned our first HTML tricks from sites like Neopets. In the absence of the know-how, MySpace provided a learning ground, a stark contrast to the uncustomizable hell of Facebook, where algorithms dictate our experiences completely. Scrolling through the archives, you'll find mostly friendly comments like, "What's up, gangsta?" rather than the hate-filled tirades that dominate modern social media. While it's easy to don rose-colored glasses and reminisce about MySpace's comment sections, we need to peel them off and take a closer look. MySpace served as the breeding ground for what we now consider a toxic internet culture. A notable case was that of MySpace Megan, which highlighted the dangers of online bullying at the time. While online bullying was a problem, it's a different issue than the rampant toxicity that we witness day to day now. With reaction videos, clickbait headlines, political divides, turning the internet into a battleground, the bombastic nature of internet has really evolved since the MySpace days. In retrospect, many of us would gladly take, cringeworthy comments over the hate-filled vitriol that permeates modern social media. Now, if MySpace played their cards right, they could have beaten TikTok to the punch. In addition to user-generated content, it's common to see some of your favorite old shows, clipped up into TikTok or Instagram Reels. In 2007, the New York Times reported that MySpace TV will highlight professional material as opposed to homemade videos. MySpace made a deal with Sony for 5-minute clips of 80s sitcoms like Different Strokes and Silver Spoons. However, as of 2007, MySpace had 50.2 million viewers of its videos in April, and YouTube had 57.9 million viewers. YouTube would continue to dominate, but not bad, not a bad try. MySpace was a hub for music enthusiasts and budding artists. Conversations revolved around, the latest songs and Smosh videos, rather than, the heated political debates that we see today. It was a different era. It was a time when not everyone and their grandma joined the world of social media, creating a more, laid back and youthful experience. If social media today seemed like it centered around politics, MySpace really revolved around musicians, even being acquired by Justin Timberlake towards the end of its run. In a Stereo Gum interview, Gareth David of Los Campesinos says, MySpace had a really amazing ability to search for bands, he remembers. So just searching for people with Pavement in their profile who were online, it seemed like a cool thing to be doing. It didn't seem strange or like there was any alternative motives to try to meet people. You literally just wanted to talk about bands and trade recommendations and that sort of stuff. Frank Iero said in that same interview, the good thing about MySpace is that it was super user-friendly, it seemed foolproof, and I was definitely a fool when it came to that kind of stuff. MySpace attracted a diverse user base spanning generations, interests, and subcultures. This diversity was a strength, but it also led to the formation of micro-communities with unique norms and values. Instead of borrowing a Motley Crue CD from your neighbor or discovering a local band at a nearby venue, you could connect with musicians nationwide or stumble upon communities you might have never encountered otherwise. These online friendships, though void of pizza rolls that you'd get from your friend Kyle's mom when you went to his house, held a special place in our hearts and epitomized the interconnected, fragmented nature of MySpace subcultures. These subcultures often had their own distinct styles, leading to the further fragmentation of the overall user experience. While MySpace didn't replace traditional media, it disrupted it by democratizing content, particularly music videos and blogs. Independent journalism like Perez Hilton's work also found a platform on MySpace. Instead of waiting for MTV to interview Pete Wentz, you could see his antics and brooding, and in hindsight, kind of cringe poetry on his MySpace blog. MySpace left an indelible mark on culture, reshaping the landscape of the music and entertainment industry in profound ways. Iconic artists found their fame on the platform. Bands like My Chemical Romance, Escape the Fate, along with pop artists like
Katy Perry. You're watching MySpace The Fit, and we're gonna go shopping.
Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift. They owe a significant part of their early success to MySpace. Emo legends from first to last were big on the site, along with frontman Sonny Moore, better known today as Skrillex. The platform challenged the traditional gatekeepers of the music industry, dismantling the need for record labels and democratizing the path to audience engagement. Frank Iero says in that interview with Stereo Gum, I think it was the first time we really recognized the power of social media right around that time. Thursday was being signed, Midtown was being signed. Basically, all our friends from New Jersey and Long Island were getting record deals, and My Chemical Romance had really just started. We recorded one song because that's all we had the money for at that point, and we put it up on MySpace immediately. And we're like, hey, listen, we're going to do a record soon once we get the money, but this is like a sneak preview of the thing. And once we put that up, there were literally major label A&Rs calling the practice studio. How they got the number for the practice studio, Frank Iero says he has no idea. Soulja Boy says, I was recording music and burning CDs and passing them out at schools and through the city and stuff like that. I had a song called I Got Me Some Bathing Apes. I put it up and got like 4 million plays in a week or something like that. Something crazy. And then after that, I think I uploaded Crank That and a couple more songs. Basically, I got really famous without being an official artist. You know what I'm saying? Not having a record deal, not being on the radio, not being on TV, but everyone knew who I was in the streets. All the kids in the schools and the colleges knew who I was and wanted to see me on TV.
But be on the lookout though. That's on deck, DVD coming.
Soulja Boy was iconic. Everyone knew the dance at the time. The more we're able to express ourselves, the more unique form of expression we sought. We coveted our favorite underground bands. While nothing new, as you know, punk really started the gatekeeping trend. It hit all-time highs on MySpace. Sure, not everyone knows about the Dead Milkmen, but nobody knew your buddy David's favorite grindcore band, Ashley Bleeds in Black. All right, I made that name up, but maybe there's a reason we don't have, you know, another Freddie Mercury or Kurt Cobain. Well, a lot of them might have moved over to hip hop. But just to make the point, labels don't really have the same stronghold nowadays. While we do have artists like Billie Eilish and Post Malone, the music scene is now flooded with talented individuals who share the spotlight. Instead of larger-than-life figures dominating the cultural landscape, we have, you know, exceptionally talented, average-height artists who bring their own unique flair. One of MySpace's influential contributions was its ability to allow artists to connect directly with their fans. This direct interaction led to the rise of various music subcultures within the platform, each with its distinct styles and devoted fan bases. The emergence of these subcultures played a pivotal role in the fragmentation of the overall music scene. Fans were no longer limited to mainstream culture narratives. They can now explore niche genres and connect with like-minded individuals who shared their passions. I think we see an extreme of that today where, you know, with cancel culture, people can get literally canceled, like things that would normally ruin their careers in mainstream sources and mainstream culture. Now they could share their side of the story on the internet, whether it's YouTube or even if YouTube gets rid of you, you can go to Rumble. So we see a lot more of their perspective nowadays. MySpace's impact extended beyond music. It introduced a more diverse, individualized, and decentralized approach to culture. It laid the groundwork for a digital landscape where people could connect with others who shared their unique interests and explore niche communities. This trend continues today, where platforms like Tumblr exemplify the extremes of this. There's a community for everything, from degenerate to strange to mundane. You know, why watch the Super Bowl when you could scroll through your favorite Rule 34 qualifying content? Even the realm of video games experienced the transformation. Gone were the days of gamers gathering at midnight in malls for the latest Halo release. Before Farmville and Facebook and the mobile gaming revolution, MySpace had its own gaming ecosystem powered by Zynga, featuring titles like Mafia War and my favorite variation of the game where you play as a rock star. I don't remember the name for the life of me. If someone could find it, let me know. These games offered a very social experience, but they're among the many factors that changed gaming forever. Gamers used to meet up and play, you know, up to 4-player games in the same room, you know, unless you really wanted to get wild and have a LAN party. These games offered a social gaming experience, but really just part of the seismic shift that changed gaming forever. In the early to mid 2000s, online gaming, whether on Xbox Live or through grinding games on MySpace, began to rise. While players interacted with others, the face-to-face human gaming experience really started to wane. Yeah, sure, you're interacting with others, but you know, we start to lose a real in-person experience. One of the striking differences between MySpace and modern social media platforms lies in the aesthetics. MySpace was a colorful canvas with self-expression and its bright tiled backgrounds, a stark contrast to today's utilitarian and monotonous designs. While the contemporary scrolling pages might serve their purpose, you know, they lack the vibrant, unique aesthetic that MySpace offered. While great for late night solo sessions with your sock, it gets monotonous to see day in, day out. It's like the glue that holds our culture together. The more it rots away, the more same and humdrum the aesthetics need to look. You can express yourself easily in so many ways. Love anime, your name on MySpace could be Death Note Rocks a Lot. Well, not anymore. It was taken by me. Try pulling that name off on Facebook. You might get a few eyebrow raises, especially from your grandma. Not all cartoons are for kids, Grandma. Jeez. Traditionally, identity was often associated with well-defined parameters. You know, it revolved around religion, family, social status, maybe one's job. These factors form the foundation of an individual's identity. However, MySpace in the digital era introduced a seismic shift in how we perceive and express identity. On MySpace, what made you unique and memorable was no longer tied to your heritage, belief, or profession. Instead it hinged on your most recently discovered Naruto animated GIF, your carefully curated and angsty profile song, your extensive list of favorite TV shows, and an over-contrasted profile picture that captured your essence. MySpace placed a premium on personal expression, and users eagerly embraced this newfound freedom. MySpace was like a digital playground where you didn't just swing on the social media monkey bars. You built the whole playground, crafting personalized profiles that looked, well, results varied. To curating playlists well before the rise of Spotify, MySpace was a canvas for creativity. Its legacy lives on in viral videos of YouTube, the dance challenges of TikTok, and the Instagram stories that make you feel like you're living in a movie montage. Back in the MySpace era, you weren't just a user, you were a digital artist. You could write your thoughts and musings in your blog, post pictures that ranged from quirky to downright bizarre. It was a world where individual expression wasn't just encouraged, it was really celebrated. MySpace turned us all into creators, and that's a legacy we see on platforms today, where people don't just scroll through content, they star in it. From lip-syncing sensations like Smosh miming the Pokemon theme song, to comedic juggernauts at the time like Dane Cook, MySpace set the stage for this participatory culture where everyone's a star and the internet is your red carpet. It was a time when the digital realm really became our canvas, and we painted it with the colors of our personalities. Fast forward to today, we find ourselves in a digital landscape where identity has become a total mess. The transformation didn't occur overnight. Rather, it's been brewing for years, with MySpace acting as a catalyst that really put the trend into overdrive. Identity, it can be multifaceted. Each platform caters to a distinct aspect of a person's personality, and really the lines between reality and online persona start to blur. A person might, share some family photos on Facebook. They might be fighting for social justice on Twitter, and the same day they might share their creativity on YouTube. But the segmentation of these facets into separate online realms raises the question about the authenticity and the coherence of their identity. This is where we find ourselves today, a world where identity isn't confined to a single definition, but it's kind of fluid and multifaceted, molded by the platforms that we engage with and the audiences that we seek to connect with. It's a world where personal expression reigns supreme, but authenticity kind of seems elusive, buried underneath layers of curated content and digital personas. Our online identities have become both a reflection and a construction of who we are. And the challenge lies in navigating this intricate web of self-presentation in a digital age that celebrates individuality, but also blurs the line between reality and performance. It's as if there was something in the water back in the days of MySpace, maybe a dash of Monster Energy in the mix. MySpace, with its wild personalization options, wasn't the sole player in the town. Let's not forget that YouTube channels also allowed for a high degree of customization. The internet was brimming with zany, unique experiences, but there's a twist. Even as the internet got quirkier, at the same time, it became less unique. As people gravitated towards platforms like MySpace and YouTube, something strange happened. We're witnessing a decline in the distinctiveness of the internet experience. The AverageJoe.coms and the other quirky corners of the internet were fading into obscurity, while culture was splintering into subcultures. The internet's user experience was consolidating. Think about it today. We routinely visit Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and not much else in our daily online routines. The internet transformed into our digital home, tailor-fit to our individual tastes. The platforms curate content specifically for us, making exploration of the World Wide Web less necessary. It's like having your own personal universe within a single site. So as websites start looking more utilitarian and similar, our online experiences are becoming strikingly individualized. While the internet on its surface might appear more homogenized, beneath it, culture is fragmenting into diverse pockets of subculture. It's really like the paradox of the digital age. Uniformity in design, but a diverse experience. MySpace really empowered individuals to bypass traditional cultural gatekeepers and connect directly with those who resonated with their passions and interests. So in conclusion, MySpace was a revolutionary platform that heralded the era of social networking, and its impact on our digital culture remains profound. It transported us back to a time when Fall Out Boy's lyrics were personal anthems, and our top 8 friends were the true VIPs of our digital lives. In the early 2000s, culture seemed more unified and life felt simpler. MySpace's innovative features initiated a seismic shift in how we interacted with celebrities, consumed music, and personalized our online identities. Whether you were a wannabe gangster or a hair-straightening scene queen, MySpace provided a canvas for self-expression, It allowed us to break free from the traditional cultural gatekeepers and connect directly with those who shared our passions and interests. The platform not only empowered independent musicians, but it also gave rise to various music subcultures within the vibrant community. It shattered the traditional music industry barriers and brought a diverse range of talent to the forefront. From Broken Side to Katy Perry, many iconic artists owe a significant part of their early success to MySpace. Now, as the digital landscape evolved, rival platforms like Facebook and Twitter emerged, causing users to divide their attention among multiple platforms. MySpace's dominance did wane, but its legacy persisted. It served as a precursor to today's highly curated online identities where uniformity in design masks the diversity of individualized experiences. In our current digital age, websites might appear more utilitarian and similar, but beneath the surface, culture is fragmenting into diverse pockets of subcultures. MySpace was a cultural force that left an indelible mark on the digital landscape, reshaping how we connect, discover music, and perceive culture. It might have signaled the beginning of the end for our once unified monoculture, but it also ushered in an era where individualization and niche interests prevail. MySpace was not just a platform, it was a symbol of transformation and a testament to the enduring power of self-expression in the digital age. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, like and subscribe. This is my second kind of video essay. So check out my other one on LSD Dream Emulator if you're into old PS1 games. But thanks for watching. I'm going to try to work on a video about Billy Joe Armstrong and his 2012 breakdown, so kind of what led up to that. So that should be my next video essay, so look forward to that. But yeah, once again, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.